And shortly after my wife and I got married, we had a dinner party at our house and we were kind of meeting each other's friends. And I got to know somebody that she knew who actually is a wilderness guide. She works for the National Outdoor Leadership School and she takes people on these incredible expeditions all over the world. But she got her start at a YMCA camp in northern Minnesota in the Boundary Waters Canoe area, and the camp is called Camp Widgiewagon. And she was talking about Widgiewagon, and that's where she had gotten her start, you know, in the kind of wilderness expedition business. And it emerged in our conversation that she had met children, young people, adolescents, essentially from all over Minnesota. You know, literally every school or every community in Minnesota, there's somebody who sends kids there for a 3-day long weekend environmental education program, you know, something like that. And what was striking to me is, having heard that, I thought, so she actually has seen kids from schools all over Minnesota. And I asked her, you know, sort of I thought kind of a cute question. I said, so where do the good kids come from? Okay, where do the good kids come from? And to her credit, she actually thought about it for a minute. She said, well, where do the good kids come from? And then she said, they come from Lake Country Montessori School. So she had an answer, and the answer was Montessori. And then she talked about what was different about these kids. And you know, working with adolescents, it's a difficult time in life, and everybody's got to sort of pitch in and help out up at Camp Widgiewagon. And so you'd ask these kids to do something, and a lot of times you get sort of a very typical adolescent response, which is they really don't want to do it, or they don't do it very well, or you have to sort of ride them to get them to do it, right? And she said there was something really strikingly different about these kids from the Montessori program, and that you know, she said you'd ask them to do something and then they would do it, and they would do it well. And then after they'd done it well, they would then, you know, that she didn't use the word embellish, but they would embellish it. So she used the example of getting the dining hall ready for lunch. You know, you kids have to sweep it out, wipe the tables down. And they did all that without complaint, and they did it well, and then they put a vase of flowers on every table. And that was striking to her. And that was striking to me as well. I can remember adolescence. Yeah, yeah. Adolescence wasn't an easy time in any of our lives, and you know, really, when I think about, you know, I would have been like one of those more typical adolescent kids, and so the fact that she actually used this, she said this, and I made this the title for one of my talks. She said, "Those kids are good at doing things," and I remember in adolescence I wasn't any good at doing anything, yeah. And I think most of us have that, you know, that recollection. So that got it on the radar for me. I would like my kid to have, you know, if I have a kid. I didn't have any children at that point, and it's like, wow, okay, so those Montessori kids are good at doing things. So that really planted the seed, and then I just sort of had an awareness.